In this video, I want to briefly cover why you should not use Amazon TBA tracking numbers and upload them to your Facebook shops, okay? Now, something I've recommended in the past is that when you're, one of the benefits of using Facebook shops, and this is actually true, obviously, is that with Facebook Marketplace, you can only input 3 kinds of carriers, right? You have UPS, you have FedEx, and you have the post office, okay? With Facebook shops, there's literally hundreds, or I haven't even counted them. There's not 1,000, but there's hundreds probably of different carriers that you can input, and one of them is Amazon, okay? So this was beneficial and exciting in the beginning because it saved you a lot of time, especially if you were processing a lot of tracking numbers and a lot of orders, because instead of converting those Amazon TBA tracking numbers using OA Genius, which is what I do recommend that you do, even still, you could simply put in the Amazon TBA tracking number and it would allow you to take that, right? That said, I've noticed 3 reasons that I don't recommend that anymore, and I don't, obviously want you to do it, okay? First and foremost is you're gonna delay your payments. Now, I've studied this for the past 2 or 3 months just to make sure, and I noticed that when I do put in the Amazon TBA tracking number, those orders typically get paid out a lot later because there's no way for Facebook shops to actually track those orders, okay? And so they are not actively tracking your Amazon TBA tracking numbers. What they're basically doing is they're just doing a wait and see approach until the buyer's happy, and then going for that longest kind of window. And I think I'd have to look back at it. I think it was 2 weeks after the delivery date or something like that, okay? But the whole consensus here that I'm trying to say is this will delay your payments, okay? That is a fact. That's first and foremost, okay? Rather than if you would put in an OA Genius tracking number just like a day or 2 after the expected delivery date, then obviously you're going to get paid a day or 2 after the expected delivery date, and the buyer's still happy, okay? Now, it does take a little bit more work, don't get me wrong, but it's going to pay you a lot faster, which those of you that, and this is even an issue for me and other people that are scaled, is like you're going to struggle to maintain that cash flow if you're doing a lot of orders, okay? That's first and foremost. The second thing that I've noticed on Facebook shops is when you input the Amazon TBA tracking numbers, into those orders, it kills your seller metrics, okay? Now, one of the things that you can notice is that seller metrics dashboard on shops, and one of the things in there is your valid tracking rate. A lot like Amazon calculates this, and it's a big part and a big metric that they use to kind of, judge the, not validity, that's not the right word, the trustworthiness, I guess, which is a big thing on Amazon and is also a big thing on Facebook. One of the things that they use is your valid tracking rate, okay? And so if you put in Amazon TBA tracking numbers, and I would, challenge you to go look at this yourself, it's gonna kill your valid tracking rate. Every single time I put in an Amazon TBA tracking number, my tracking rate goes down a little bit, and I start to notice that, okay? And so if you do that too much, not only are you delaying your payments and you're gonna struggle with cash flow, but on top of that, you're killing your seller metrics quite literally, and it's hurting the trustworthiness on Facebook, which, knowing what I know about running ads on Facebook and, just dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace specifically, it's gonna hurt your Facebook shop sales over the long haul. I promise you that, okay? Facebook really, really ranks shops and marketplace sellers with trustworthiness, and they're gonna bring you more traffic and allow more eyes on your listings, and obviously that will result in more sales and more money with you, or for you, the more trustworthy that they rank you as a seller, okay? So this is huge. That's second, but that's probably the most important thing here with that, okay? And finally, last, one of the biggest things on, it's really honestly big on Marketplace as well, but most people don't even realize that they're getting chargebacks and claims. This happens to me all the time. Just the other day, like 2 days ago, I shipped out 2 exercise bikes to this lady, and she, I have all the messages to prove that, they were delivered to her. I have all the messages to prove that she, got exactly what she expected, right? And she wanted to return them because she was like, I spent too much on my kids at Christmas, and I don't have enough, money, I guess, or whatever, which totally understandable. Like, but I'm not gonna pay to ship the exercise bikes back to me or to return them. So I was basically like, and it wasn't on like Amazon where you can literally just kind of like categorize it as inaccurate website information or whatever, or like damaged product and get a free return label. So it was something that I would have to, pay for her to ship back to the manufacturer, okay? And so that's probably gonna run me like $100 at least across both of those, if not even more. And so I was like, yeah, like I will 1000% let you return it. I totally understand, but like I'm not going to pay for return shipping. Well, she didn't like that, obviously. And, because most people are used to like the free prepaid labels like with Amazon when they're buying. And so she filed a chargeback. I didn't even realize till like 2 days ago. And I tried to, this is I'm getting off tangent. It's a completely different topic. But the whole thing I'm saying here is like, chargebacks are a big problem on Facebook Marketplace when you're selling personally. But most people don't even realize that like Facebook is just granting these claims to buyers, okay? Unless you're actively searching and looking every single day, most of them just like, they don't even notify you. It's crazy. That ties me back into point number 3, which is you do know when chargebacks occur on Facebook shops, right? They notify you, you can appeal them, which is 2 things that don't happen on Marketplace for some reason. I don't know why, at least not for me. But one of the issues with that is while you can appeal chargebacks, and that's huge, I've never been successful appealing a chargeback with an Amazon TBA tracking number. When that order that somebody charges back, I use an Amazon TBA tracking number for, right? I never win that case, okay? Now, if you can, of course, prove it, what you can do is you can use the OA Genius tracking number, and for whatever reason, this seems to work for me, and then I take a snapshot of the actual Amazon order and it being delivered to the buyer with that specific address on the order. I kind of do like a freeform snippet kind of on PC. There's probably something like this on Mac as well, but I'm not sure what it's called. And I take a picture of the actual order on Amazon going to that buyer with the actual OA Genius tracking number that I implemented, okay? Because that's something that they can actually track. And what I've noticed is they track it to the actual, the buyer's city and location, and they look at the order picture that you provide, and you can win a lot more chargeback cases that way, okay? So even if it's like a couple chargeback cases, this could be like $100 or a few $100s that you're getting back simply by not using Amazon TBA tracking numbers, okay? So that was a lot of talking, but there's 3 main reasons to recap why you don't want to use Amazon TBA tracking numbers and input those into your orders that I've noticed over the past couple months. I was excited about it in the beginning. Now I do not recommend that you do it. The first and foremost is that it's going to hurt your shop's trustworthiness, and it's going to kill your seller metrics because it hurts your valid tracking rate, okay? The second is it's going to hurt your cash flow because you don't get paid out as fast, because they're literally not using that as tracking. It's just like a placeholder almost that they're kind of validating for you. And finally, third is that you can't win chargebacks, and chargebacks happen all the time, both on Marketplace, but they also happen on shops. And even though you can appeal them on shops, if you use an Amazon TBA tracking number in that order and you get a chargeback on it, you're not going to win that appeal, okay? At least I haven't, and I don't know what the specific number is, but I'd probably assume I don't know what it is. I might have won one of them, but it might be like 1 for 20 on Amazon TBA tracking numbers. I obviously not prepared for that ratio, I guess, to tell you what it is, but that's just me guesstimating, all right? So whole message is do not use Amazon TBA tracking numbers when you're inputting them in your Facebook shop's orders. Even though you can, and it does save you time, it's not worth it. Really hope you enjoyed that video. If you're brand new to dropshipping, I recommend that you get started with ZDrop. It's a software that'll help you run and scale your entire dropshipping business for just over $10 a month. I still use it every single day in my own business, and it's a no-brainer, okay? It'll make your listing, customer service, order fulfillment, and a number of other things a lot faster and a lot easier, okay? Now, ultimately, the quickest way to get from where you are now to a dropshipping business that's paying you consistently every month is to simply enroll in my Dropship Pro course. Both of those things are linked directly down in the description below. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and feel free to check out some of the other videos that are on this channel on e-commerce, dropshipping, and a number of other things, all right? See you in the next one.